Gotcha. Link in the description.
Kaiju, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hey, hello there collectors, it's Steven here, and I'm back with another SH MonsterArts review for you. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 2019 poster color version. Like the 2014 poster color version SH MonsterArts Godzilla, this one was bundled with a super duper deluxe home release of Godzilla King of the Monsters. Yep. That's right, and this was available on Amazon Japan. But the best thing about this is it was available to ship to US home addresses. That's right, if you lived in the US, or you live in the US, not lived. And anyway, if you live in the US, you could still have ordered this. So, yeah, it was available to those in the US entirely. So, you slept on it, I guess. Anyway, this is also an equal representation of a Spitfire Godzilla 2019, considering this works as a conceptual figure and as a Spitfire repaint. Some folks are really looking to see whether this one's worth picking up, because this one's going to be worth about $170. That's expensive, so let's take a look to see whether or not it's worth adding into your collection. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be honest with everyone here for this review. And, you know, there's a lot of things that I can honestly, truly say. And I can say that the 2014 SH MonsterArts poster color version completely sucked. Yep, it did. Not going to pull any punches on that one. Here, however, it doesn't suck. As a matter of fact, I'd say it reverse sucks. All of the suck that the 2014 one kind of just took out of the enjoyment of collecting is effectively spat back out for collectors here for this release, and it revitalizes all of the bad purchases that folks made in... Well, okay, so that was 2015 when that one came out. But anyway, for the 2014 release, yes, that's right. This one looks so good that the effective dump that was made with the 2014 release is now a redump. It is an anti-dump for this 2019 release. What was poo-poo is now oop-oop, okay? I think I'm driving home the point that I'm trying to say here. This 2019 poster color version looks great because not only did they use the almost immaculate sculpt of the 2019 Godzilla that they have, but they utilize translucent plastic, which really helps make it catch the light wonderfully. They utilized multiple different shades of blue paint that was not just matte, but pearlescent in nature. So this way, it starts off as a darker blue when it gets closer to Godzilla's ribcage, then changes into a lighter blue as it gets closer to Godzilla's dorsal plates, and then immediately shifts back and snaps back to that nice gray coloration Godzilla is known for when we get to the tips of his dorsal plates. Effectively, somehow, they managed to get all of the painters in the factory to get their act together and make a wonderful paint scheme here for this figure for the main body, which is amazing to see here. It is a great paint design. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do a damn thing about the teeth. They still look sloppy as hell compared to the original 2019 release. I don't know what they were doing there. And the eyes, they get a cop out here because, well, when Godzilla's shooping his whoop, yep, his eyes turn blue. But yeah, overall, this Godzilla looks great and pretty much forgives for the sins that was the original 2014 poster color version. 2 thumbs up here and how this figure looks. Being a repaint, Godzilla's articulation is no different than the original release, but we can still go over a quick rundown and sort of give you a fluid test, if you will, of how the thicker, sturdier plastic feels and reacts to movement on the new Godzilla. So the jaw is on a ball joint, so we can move it around, open and close it. I feel like this jaw is a bit more reactive to closing overall than the first one, but c'est la vie. We have a system of ball joints for the neck area, so this way we can get Godzilla to look straight up. Adjust to look down about that far, and obviously look in all sorts of different directions. We do have ball jointed shoulders, so we can spin the arms around. Likewise, the right arm on this Godzilla is a little stiff, similar to the original release on mine. That's a common issue folks have had, so keep that in mind. We do have double elbow hinge along with what feel like ball joints. So we do have effective bicep and forearm swivels along with swivel hinge wrists. So this way we can spin Godzilla's hands around. Nicely done. So good movement on the arms. Could be better, but it's good. We do have a ball jointed ab crunch up here. So we get a little bit of rocking movement from Godzilla. And then we get a ball jointed waist, which really contributes to Godzilla looking down and giving a little bit of a serpentine look to him. So this way Godzilla can sort of curve off to one side or the other. So yeah, we get some decent movement there, as you can see by the alignment of the dorsal plates, which is cool. Ball jointed hips. Double hinge knees, accommodating with a little bit of ball jointed movement as well. So that's good. At the shin split there, we do get a ball joint. It's a little stiff on mine. I just have to loosen that up, but it will come. We get ball jointed ankles. This one popped off on mine. It's been a little loose since, but that's okay. Nothing too major. All right, you got that idea there. And then, of course, we have a ball jointed tail all the way up to about here. A couple of these segments are just little sleeves to cover up the sculpt. And right there, this one I unfortunately forced off by accident. And since then, it is now wanting to pop off. But this way you get an idea of what I'm talking about for the sleeve. So yes, so overall, the articulation basically feels the same, except in some parts it feels a bit more rigid, if you will, because of the thicker, sturdier plastic, but at the same time, they needed to use that for the translucent effect. But overall, the articulation for Godzilla 2019 here, much like the original release, is good. And then, oh, the tongue, which, is that jointed really? I'll say no, just because. But yeah, Godzilla moves just fine. For accessories, it's going to come with everything that the vanilla 2019 came with, which is going to be an alternate jaw part and a beam part. There's no support stand, which I think is really weird because, I mean, that kind of seems like they would do that. But interestingly enough, because of the plastics used, Godzilla has a little better support and his mouth isn't going to constantly droop down along with the ball joints in the neck, so that's good. But something else that you're going to get in this set, aside from the Steelbook and the movies and the this, that, and the other, you're going to get a little King of the Monsters backdrop. And unlike NECA, who can't print Godzilla King of the Monsters on their poster version figure display, Bandai actually did that for theirs. So, hey, you know, I'm not keeping track of anything or nothing, but, you know. Yeah, so if you really want to display this like he's on the poster or whatever, you can do that, and it actually kind of looks pretty nice. So if you have a Detolf or something like that, or, you know, whatever, this would be a nice addition to your display. But of course, if you want more effect parts or whatnot, or you need support stands, not only do I have videos, I got an ultimate display video for you. Gonna want to check those out. All right, let's go ahead and move on over to a size comparison in case you don't know how big the 2019 Godzilla is in 6-inch scale format by this point. What are we at? We're at 3 different NECAs. This is the 5th time I've been reviewing a 6-inch scale Godzilla 2019 action figure. I think by the MonsterArts Burning Godzilla 2019, you should have how big one of these guys is memorized. Now, of course, here's a side-by-side comparison with the original 2019 Godzilla MonsterArts so you can see where the paint differences are. And man, does this thing look awesome. Very, very good. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. You're not going to be waiting for any deal because basically within, I think it was 72 hours or so after this went up for order on Amazon Japan, it sold out. Yep. Well, I think it was about that fast. It was pretty fast. I don't remember how fast, but it was fast. And you know what? Seeing it unreleased for damn good reason too. This thing looks fantastic. It uses wonderful blue paint. It is really eye-catching when the light hits it just right, and it is a fantastic representation of a Spitfire Godzilla 2019. Basically, this is a repaint that is on the same level as the SH MonsterArts Godzilla Earth. It definitely does improve in some spots where the original may have sort of failed, which in this comparison, the 2019 Godzilla is great to begin with, but here it just takes good and makes it even better. So, yep. Unfortunately, something like this is locked to a DVD, 4K, Ultra HD, Blu-ray, whatever, home release box set. So it's not going to be available to a wider audience, which does suck. So if you're not going to be getting this because of that exclusivity, I feel for you. But if you do happen to see this pop up on Amazon Japan for a reasonable price, Mandarake may have this sold as just the figure by itself. This did happen with the 2014 release. Definitely check that out. Yeah, this is absolutely worth the purchase. If you have a chance to get it, I completely recommend it. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another SDR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya